it was the sun that had caused the melanoma to form on my husband's head. The sun that makes the world a happier place had brought darkness to our lives. That afternoon, I did two things that helped to save my own life. First, I tipped the gin down the drain, and then I went out and I bought myself a pocket-sized journal. The idea I wish to share with you is that journal became my lifesaver. It was as if I had my own personal therapist in my pocket, available to me 24/7, free of charge. And it can be your lifesaver too, because you don't have to be able to write well or even to spell in order to benefit from the healing power of writing.
Hi guys, and welcome back to today's video. I am Michaela Anderson. I post content regarding nomadic living. I post different things about what I would like to call analog adjacent habits and me sort of trying to switch to that lifestyle. I do things like thrift hauls, day in the lives, that sort of thing. If you guys are interested in that content, please feel free to subscribe, because that really does help out the channel. Side note, if you are here for the junk journaling, I will put a timestamp right here so you guys can skip ahead to that, because I know that I'm kind of getting into a lot of things that maybe you weren't here for. In today's video though, I am talking about a hobby / mental hygiene practice that I've been doing for as long as I can remember. And I'm quite excited about it because I have been wanting to talk about this hobby, share this hobby with other people, kind of give some of my tips that I have picked up while I've been doing this. And it's journaling, junk journaling, regular journaling, gratitude journaling. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I do these things, the benefits, how, like the methods in which I do them, like the practices and stuff like that. Now, I kind of want to touch a little bit on why I journal and why I think you should journal as well, regardless of the method that you choose. Journaling is really important because it helps me a lot with my self-reflection. And I feel like the documentation of journaling is really, really important because I love nothing more than looking through old journals and kind of hearing the narration of past self, hearing the narration of like what I was going through at that time, and just being able to like reflect on that in the guise of where I was then and where I am now. And I think it's like the most accessible practice for mental health. I think another good thing about journaling too is if you're able to get your emotions out on paper, and if you're able to kind of take what's going on in here and put it somewhere that it's more productive. For me, it's helped me better communicate with other people, be a more direct communicator, because I have an idea of what's going on with myself and what's going on internally so that I can make changes externally or have conversations and be able to express feelings without it feeling like mumbo jumbo, if that makes sense. I feel like journaling is kind of like the first draft, so to speak. And then if I do need to communicate my emotions with someone else, I'm much more clear-headed to be able to do so. So those are some of my reasons why I journal and why I think it's important. And I think it's just a really good practice for anyone to do. And the fun thing about journaling is that there's so many different ways to journal, methods in which you can journal. And that brings me to my next point, which is my top 3 favorite ways to journal. So here is my journaling ecosystem. So yeah, it kind of looks like a lot, but I promise you it's not. So I want to go first into my journals. So this was my old journal, the journal that I started. I always like to put it on the sides. Let's see if I could focus that. It's a little wiped off, but I always like to put on the sides when I started a journal. So you can see this journal, I started back in 2023. You can kind of see all like a little post-it notes on the side because I like to make keys in my journal. So here is the key for my notebook. So what I like to do is I like to make a key for myself. So not only is it easier to organize my thoughts, my feelings and emotions, when I go back maybe years later to look at an entry, I know what it is that I'm looking for. I typically enjoy tarot readings. Sometimes I will pull cards for myself. Sometimes I will listen to pick a cards online. And so if I have any notes about said tarot reading, I will kind of make that all pink, as you can see here. Therapy notes are green. Poems, any poems that I've written will be orange, and then any like doodles or pictures will be yellow. And then I have like different pen colors that are associated with my moods. And I kind of got that idea from like mood rings. When I started my current journal though, this is my current journal, and I love a good fabric journal as well. When I started my current journal, I kind of picked up more habits, as you can tell. So I have things like relationship status, what I'm doing for work, personal life, friends of mine, current age, stuff like that. That right there is my regular journaling. I've talked a little bit about that, and I also want to touch on gratitude journaling, and then as a finale we'll get more into junk journaling. I always had a really hard time with gratitude, and so while I could just get like a regular lined notebook and just like write down things that I'm grateful for, that for me felt very disingenuous. So it was really helpful for me to get like an actual gratitude journal that had prompts and everything. And I find that when I'm being asked things sort of directly, like, what are you grateful for? What are you happy that happened today? Or this and that. It's a lot more easier for me to identify. And then I go, oh, well, yeah, I do have things to be grateful for. And that's the magic of this book, because you can kind of go into it thinking like everything's going wrong. Like, what do I have to be happy for? Like, you can know subconsciously that you have things to be grateful for, but it's kind of hard to like connect with them. And that's why I really love this gratitude journal, because it helps me do that. So that was regular journaling. That was a gratitude journaling. And now I'm going to get into the journaling that you guys are all here for, which is junk journaling, which has easily become one of my favorite ways to journal. The great thing about junk journaling is that you really don't need much to start. It's kind of like within the name. Like if you got junk, you have stuff to journal. So what I mean by junk is not necessarily like, yes, it is things you would like throw away, but it's not necessarily like trash. So for me, how I choose my junk is I like to choose junk that is either sentimental, looks pretty, or can be used sort of like as background to the paper. So I will keep a lot of like shopping bags if they have like a cool print. I will keep a lot of like wrappers, maybe even burger wrappers. Like if I go out to eat and my burger is wrapped in that kind of like almost like grid shape, I will keep that because I think it's really interesting and pretty. Receipts, especially printed color receipts, I love those things. Candy wrappers. I've kept concert tickets as well. Earlier this year, I went to go see Kendrick Lamar and SZA, so I have that in my junk journal. I like to keep a lot of like things like maps as well. Just anything that I feel is like kind of cute, like sugar packets. I love to keep a good sugar packet. So those are some ideas of junk. I like to also keep postcards as well. Whether I like get a postcard, basically being out here in Yosemite, postcards are really easy to find, and I like them because you can like cut them out. A lot of times they'll like have words like California, or they'll have like pictures that you can like kind of collage into your junk journal. So I really do like that practice as well. So just like stuff like that, like just straws, like just, it could be literally anything that you like and or enjoy. So that covers the junk. I want to get into some like materials that I use personally to junk journal. So one of the things I like to do, because I do like to create sort of like a background paper to go on the junk journal. So one thing I have done is I will go on Canva. So this is what it looks like when you open Canva. As you can see, I have some graphics that I've already done here as well. So you just want to go ahead and go to elements. And if you have like a print in mind, you could just type it into the search bar. You could do like hearts, you can do fruit, flowers, anything like that. And I like to hit graphics. And so I just, survey all the options to see, which one looks the cutest in my opinion. I like to go for the ones that have the full print that I know will, cover the entire page. But it's really up to you, whatever, idea that you have. And then you're going to click those three dots and you're going to set the image to background so that it fills the entire page. And you can do this with as many fonts, or sorry, not fonts, as many graphics as you want. Again, it's really up to you how much you want to make. I know the local library will make printouts of these for like 25 cents, I believe, for color. I think it's 15 for black and white. And with this size, you can try to put like multiple prints on the same page. So yeah. Another thing that I really like to do as well to kind of like store my junk, kind of jumping back to junk journaling, is I have my Filofax / budget binder here. And I really like this thing because of its storage. So what I do, so there's a little slot in here, as you can see right there. In this slot, I have a little sandwich bag. In said sandwich bag, I have quite a bit of different junk that I've collected, especially within the last couple of days. So like I have like a business card here, candy wrapper, leaves because it is fall. So I've been like collecting leaves as well to put in my junk journal. I have like different like menus here. From places that I've eaten, the little Pringles wrapper. I do a lot of coloring too. Like if I'm ever like waiting for dinner, like if we go out to eat or whatnot, I will like color different pages, and this is like it right here. So I could either like use the page that I've colored, or like cut out the little animal to kind of like have that on there too. So I like to keep all this stuff in my budget binder, Filofax, in a nice little sandwich bag, because then it makes it so that I can grab things like while I'm out and about on the go, and I can just like store it until I'm able to sit down and put it in the journal. So I want to get into some supplies that I use to junk journal. To be fair, you can make junk journaling like as, I guess the word I'm looking for is expansive or not as possible. You don't need all these things. It's really up to you. So I try to keep a lot of like my stationery supplies organized. I have like this kind of like 3-tier organizer, as you guys can see. So inside here, again, so like I was saying before, this is a shopping bag that I had got from a restaurant that I went to recently. This is what I mean by the wrapping paper. This I will use as a background for a junk journal entry very soon, because I think that is just so pretty. And a lot of the times I will cut up these bags and use them as background as well. So I do use tape. I like double-sided tape, but I just use like the regular Scotch tape, which is really, really cool. Scissors, of course, you need scissors. This is the double-sided tape that I use. Glue sticks for sure. You're gonna need like some sort of method for adhesion. To be fair, the more creative you want to get with your junk journal, having different methods to adhere things makes it really simple and easy. I also have stickers as well, just to kind of like give it that oomph. So here's the stickers. And I do have washi tape. I like washi tape. It's like just washi tape is just decorative tape that I'll use as well. Have like another thing of washi tape here. And then I have these, and these are what I was mentioning before, which is like just going on Canva, picking out different graphics or prints that you like, putting it just on like a regular sheet of paper and printing it out, because again, this works as really good background for your junk journaling. My boss had a lot of contact paper, so she let me have this as well. Contact paper does wonders, does dreams for a background. I like contact paper because you can get a lot of the same print for very cheap, and also it has like a sticky back, so it like works. So we went over the way that I collect junk. We went over how I like store junk, different supplies that you would need, and on the bat of the supplies that you would need, I strongly recommend a bound book for junk journaling, because your journal will start to have volume, and especially as you start like taping the junk on, gluing the junk on. And in my opinion, a threaded book keeps the integrity a lot better than a spiral one. I do want to show you guys some of my junk journaling entries, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of them, and then I want to get into the demonstration of how I kind of format my junk and how I make junk journaling entries myself. So yeah, we'll get into that now. Hello. So I wanted to hop on here and do a little bit of a voiceover as I take you guys through how I like to do my junk journals and things like that. So as you see here, I'm going through the junk itself to try to like pick the things in advance that I think I might want to put on the collage. So this is me like kind of like looking at different tape options that I have, sticker options, that sort of thing, to kind of determine what I want to use. And again, here are those Canva prints that I mentioned earlier in the video. I think I'm just like flipping through these to see which one I feel like fits the vibe. Sometimes I want to like color coordinate. Well, all the times I want to coordinate. So I think I went with the blueberries because I had like a lot more blue stuff, like a more blue concept. So yeah, I picked the blueberries. Super cutesy. So this is me just kind of trying to map out where I think I want things to go. It's easier for me to focus on one page at a time when I'm setting stuff up. So I'm just kind of putting like the bigger media on first so that I can kind of build on top of it, kind of to lay a foundation. That is a receipt that I am gluing onto it. So yeah, right there, I think that is like a wrapper of these gluten-free, dairy-free cookies that I really like. They're super good. So I got some leaf action going there, also gluing that down. I did use regular glue, but I think in the future when it comes to like gluing dry leaves or flowers, I probably want to use like an actual paste instead of a glue, so it just has a stronger adhesive. This is a sugar packet that I got from an Indian restaurant that I had went to a couple weeks prior, and I just thought that the text on the sugar packet was really pretty, and I also like the shade of blue. So I actually have a couple of these sugar packets because I had put it in my chai tea. So yeah, this is me like playing around with the stickers, trying to see which one I want to go with. In hindsight, I should have went with the bow. Doesn't the bow look so cute? I don't know why I didn't pick it. I think I didn't like the way that it was, like, because I use stickers as gap fillers, so I didn't like the way that it filled that gap, the bow. But I think the bow really looks nice with the contrast of the red leaf. So in hindsight, I probably would have used the bow, but the book is cool too. So yeah, that receipt, going back to the receipt, is significant because it has my mom's birthday date on it. She's a Virgo, so that's why I kept that receipt, and also it's pink. I mean, come on. So yeah, that's me laying the sticker. I think I'm trying to decide how I want to adhere that last leaf. This is the washi tape because I wanted to kind of make a border, around the receipt again to fill that gap. So as I'm placing things, I will like kind of pull it back up if I want I kind of want the tape to go like underneath the sticker. So that is something that I will do just so it has a little bit more flow. Same thing with what I'm doing here with the leaf as well. And I'm just going ahead and placing that washi tape, giving it a snip snip. And I think the washi tape was a really good addition. I really liked how that looked. This is a tag from a dress that I had got a long time ago. I kept it because I really liked the heart shape, also extra points for it being pink. And I kind of want to do like something creative, I guess. So I kept like the string because I wanted it to kind of look more organic, like it was kind of just like hanging there, like it was hanging off the dress. And this is the final, well, not final because I have to do the other side, but this is how it came out. And yeah, I liked it. It was cute enough. I think it was really cool. So yeah, that's junk journaling for you. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that maybe this has inspired you guys to take up junk journaling. Like I said, I like junk journaling and just journaling in general because it is accessible and anyone can do it, and you can start at any period of time and you can kind of take it at your own pace. It's not one of those things where you need like so much money or so much things to get started with, and it is a really fun thing to do. I love to junk journal and just like turn on like a show or a movie, have that playing in the background while I'm just like doing like arts and crafts, like cutting things up and journaling and this and that. And I find it to be very, very fun. And it's really just a cool way to like look back on memories. Again, you could even do like Polaroids and pictures in your journal as well. I've had my eye on the Canon Ivy, which is like the printer for different photos and stuff, and I think eventually I will get that because I just like that idea, like just having like, you know, like those physical pictures and things that you can touch. I think that's like really, really cool. So anyway, all that being said, I hope this gave you guys a little bit of inspiration to start journaling on your own, whether you want a junk journal, gratitude journal, or regular journal. It really can be dealer's choice because they're all just really fun ways to document your life. And so yeah, if you guys have any further questions about junk journaling or any of the different types of journaling or methods of journaling that I mentioned today, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any really cool experiences with junk journaling, regular journaling, gratitude journaling, again, leave them below because I would love to hear them as well, just for like me and my own curiosity. And yeah, just let me know how it goes if you guys do try junk journaling. So without further ado, that concludes today's video. Again, if you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing, giving the video a like, a comment. All these little things goes a long way to build up the community that I'm trying to create on this platform. And yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next upload.